Okay, welcome back, ladies and gents. Today we are going to be, uh, ranking all of the heroes. If you will do me a favor and like and subscribe, that would be very helpful to me. It's free and it helps me out a bunch. You could click that notification bell if you want to. It notifies you when I upload my next video, and let's get into it. Okay, number... I haven't counted. This is awkward. Okay, 12, 18... No. 7, 14, 21, 22. We have 22 heroes. And in the 22nd spot is going to be BB8. His abilities are decent, but he doesn't do any, like, big damage. Can easily be countered by basically any hero, so that's why I'm placing him here. He is a big help in supremacy though, but he just doesn't stand chance to all the other heroes. Okay, now let's go to his Sith counterpart, BB9E. The only reason why I list BB9E a bit more up, because Smokescreen is better than Rolling Charge. Because you're able to actually deal a bit more damage than that with this than BB8. This isn't, like, the actual ranking, I'm just only saying this because, you know, it's my personal opinion on whatever I play, I guess. Okay, now let's go to the non-balls, which should be the 20th spot. It is going to be... That's actually a tough one. These are all very good ones. But I'm going to have to list it to... Because I should have thought this out before I did it. It doesn't matter. We are going to put Lando. He is a solid character, but he's not as good through all the other heroes on here. The smoke grenade doesn't necessarily matter because Vader could pull off an easy choke and kill, and basically any Sith can counter this dude. Even if it's like, I don't know, Captain Phasma, Iden, they can all counter him. Smoke grenade, sharp shot, they're not very good abilities. The disabler is decent, but you have to detonate it, and it takes a while to detonate, so that's why I'm placing him in the 20th spot. Now let's move on to the 19th spot, which is going to be... Ooh, that's actually tough. So this is 19th, yeah. 19th is going to have to go to Bosk. Now, I mean, he's a solid character, he can hold his own, but the Dioxis grenade just... It's not that good, anyone can avoid it. Predator Instincts is solid, but proximity mines aren't going to get him that far, because an Anakin could pull him, Luke could push him away, basically any Jedi or any light side hero could beat him, so that's why I place him in number 18th, I think, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so that means, yeah, 18th, okay, so let's move on to the 17th, which is actually going to have to go to Captain Phasma. Now, this is a pretty solid character, because they're pretty annoying to deal with. Because, you know, their sentry droid is the main problem. Now, if you just get an Anakin and you pull Phasma away, they aren't hard to deal with. You just gotta pull with an Anakin, push him away with a Luke. Any character can basically be Phasma. I mean, Phasma can hold her own with Survivor and Staff Strikes, but without her droid, she's kinda useless. So now we're going to head towards the 16th spot. This is where we are going to hold the 17th, so I gotta think. Boba Fett. Once again, any Jedi could counter him, but he can destroy a lot of Jedi like Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan can't technically reach him. And he can float in the air for a second, but the concussion rocket isn't that good. The rocket barrage barely does damage. And for the hunt, it doesn't last that long, so Boba Fett is down on the 15th or 16th, I forgot. So 1, 2, 21st, 20th, 19th. I think this is the 18th? I don't... Honestly, I forgot. I have terrible memory. If I haven't told you that already. So that's why I'm placing him below, or above basically everybody, because he's not that good, and, you know. Oh yeah, this is worst to best. Okay, now we're gonna move on to Palpatine. Palpatine is a solid character if you know how to master him. He's very good, but his abilities are actually very good. He can hold his own pretty good. But the thing that beats me about Palpatine is, anyone can stun him, and then he is just dead. He can't do anything. A blaster hero could easily bully him around like he's nothing. And that is why I place him in the 15th, I believe. Five minus 20. 17th. Okay, now we're going to drop our lightsaber hero, which is Yoda. Yoda's very good in Supremacy, because he's small and he's hard to hit, and not only that, he absorbs all of the blaster bolts that are shot at him. But in a lot of modes, he can't do anything. I mean, he's a support character, which isn't my playstyle, personally. Unleash doesn't do that much, and the dash attacks are easy to parry. Presence won't last him that long, honestly, so that's why I place Yoda at the 16th, I believe? Yeah. Okay, now let's move to the 17th. 15th, I meant. Okay. 15th is where we are going to throw Chewbacca. Chewbacca's not that much of a challenge to basically any Sith. I mean, he's very good if you know how to maneuver with him. But, like, a simple choke or any force ability could get him pretty low, and he could be taken down pretty quick. But he is very good. Okay, now let's move on to the 14th. Which is going to be... Wait, that cut out. Pretty funny. Okay, the 14th is going to be Finn. Finn's blaster does a good amount of damage. Deadeye is pretty good, especially when you're going against enemy blasters, but, you know. And he cannot fight up against like any real opponents, because anything can kill him. So that is why I'm placing him here at the 13th or 14th. I think it's 14th. Right now it's... Is it? I don't know. Oh, we'll go with the 14th. Okay, so now let's go to the 13th. Our first Sith, Darth Maul. I'm not a major fan of Darth Maul. He can't do that much damage when he's attacking, and it drains a lot of stamina when he attacks. But he can hold his own until his, like, teammates come around and help him out. And plus, all his abilities are pretty good. If you really want to play a good character, play Vader, because Vader is basically just a Maul on steroids. Okay, now that was Darth Maul is being placed at 13th. Okay, now let's move on to the 12th. And we are going to have to give it to Rey. Because Rey isn't that much of a problem. She's pretty weak, she doesn't do that much damage. The dash strike is good, but Insight doesn't necessarily do hardly anything. It only reveals the enemy's location. And Mind Trick only inverts your controls, which isn't, and lowers your sensitivity. But that isn't too much of a threat. Okay, that was the 11th spot. Now let's move on to the 10th, which is going to be Leia. The only reason why I hold her up here is because she can burn through a Vader's stamina and deal with Vader if she is at a pretty far range. So that's why I place her at the 10th spot. Thermal detonators are very useful. The rapid fire is very useful as well. Squad shield is very good. Okay, now let's move to the 9th. Iden Rochelle. She can hold herself against a lot of Jedi, but when you get close enough, Iden can do basically anything. Droid shield can't save her. Sun Droid may be able to, like, have her have a fighting chance, but no. That's why I placed her at the 9th spot. Okay, now let's go to the last Blaster hero, Han Solo, at the 8th spot. The detonate charge can do a lot of things, especially explode the opponent, which is absolutely goated because you can hold your own against a Vader if you know how to play Han, right? Plus he can do a lot of damage to enemy blasters. He has the honor of being the highest serving blaster hero. Okay. Now let's go to the 8th. So the 8th spot is going to have to go to Count Dooku. Count Dooku is very good, my personal favorite. But he can't necessarily do too much. I mean, he's very good in Supremacy, but if you get like a Luke or a Kenobi, Count Dooku can't necessarily do too much because, I mean, his speed is very good, but his damage input is also very good, but an easy parry on Count can get him to die pretty quick. That's why I place him in the 7th spot. On the 6th spot, I place Kenobi. Kenobi is a very powerful hero with a lot of stamina, but he just cannot necessarily 1v1 anybody. He's a bit slow, which gives him a bit of a downgrade. His mind trick isn't too terrifying. You could easily get around that like it's nothing. All out push is easily avoidable. The defensive rush, it's an easy counter if you have an ability ready. But Kenobi is very good. He can hold his own. That's why he is in the 7th spot. Or 6th. Okay. Now we're moving up to the top 5. And number 5 is going to have to be Anakin. They nerfed him a ton. But he's still very good. All of his abilities go together very well. He can do a lot of damage. Even though after all of the nerfs on him, he's still a pretty solid character. Okay, now we're moving into the 4th spot, which I don't even know how much heroes are 4th. It is going to have to be a Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren does a crazy amount of damage, his speed is unmatched. The freeze and the pull go together perfectly. The frenzy also fits in there as well, and it closes gaps, which is very good, especially for Kylo. Kylo is an easy character to master, and that's why I put him in the 4th spot. Now in the 3rd, it is going to be General Grievous. General Grievous is a good hero nonetheless, but due to his slowness, it's just Luke can maneuver through him pretty clearly, but all of his abilities are very good, especially if you're playing Supremacy. Then you can easily win a match or two. Grievous can fight a lot of heroes and still win, but his slowness outweighs him. Okay. The strongest light side hero, Luke Skywalker. He is very good. His rush is awesome. His is very good as well. All of his abilities are awesome, especially since you can use them in midair like Kylo. And he is the fastest character. So, this is why he's in 2nd place. It's very solid. One of my favorites as well. Then we will go to the number 1 spot, Darth Vader. Ladies and gents, we already know why he's here. It's because his lightsaber throw is focus, rage, and his stroke. No, he doesn't necessarily have a flaw except for his stamina, but you can easily avoid that by just, not necessarily attacking, or you could just keep on parrying. Then you'll be able to play Vader without, losing that much stamina. And that is my tier list, everybody. See you later. Goodbye.